Why is it that even if you drink water, rest, and wait for several days, that mucus stays trapped in your chest, throat, or sinuses? Why does breathing sometimes seem harder right when your body should be recovering? And most importantly, why can a few simple kitchen ingredients help your body expel what has been building up for days? Today, I am going to show you a natural drink with ginger, pineapple, honey, and a spicy touch that many people prepare in the morning to help clear their airways. Stay until the end, because I will also show you how to use the leftovers so nothing goes to waste. When the body accumulates phlegm, it is not just that uncomfortable feeling in the throat that appears. You might also experience annoying sinus pressure, heavier breathing, a lingering cough, and that sensation of having something stuck inside. That is why in this recipe, each ingredient has a very specific function. The base of this drink is fresh pineapple. It is not just a sweet and pleasant fruit. In this preparation, pineapple is used for its natural juice and its enzymes, especially bromelain, which is frequently mentioned for its anti-inflammatory properties and its ability to help break down mucus. Next comes the ginger, intense, aromatic, and warm. Ginger has long been used as a natural support for congestion because it provides a feeling of openness and warmth in the body. Honey is added to this mixture, which soothes the throat and makes the drink more pleasant. And finally, a small amount of cayenne pepper, which provides that spicy kick that awakens the blend. The interesting thing is that we are not talking about a complicated recipe or strange ingredients. Everything comes from a simple combination: fresh pineapple, clean ginger, honey, and a little cayenne. But when prepared together, the result is a strong, aromatic drink that is very easy to take in the morning. Now let's move on to the first important ingredient, the pineapple. For this recipe, you cannot just pick any fruit at random because the flavor, the amount of juice, and the ripeness greatly change the final result. I usually look for a deep yellow or orange pineapple because that normally indicates it is riper and ready to use. I also like to pick it up and feel its weight. If a pineapple feels quite heavy for its size, it is usually a sign that it is full of juice, and that is exactly what we need to prepare this drink. There is another simple detail that can help a lot when choosing it. You can gently pull on one of the leaves at the top. If it comes out easily, the fruit is probably ready. There is no need to overcomplicate it, but these small gestures can make the difference between a dry pineapple and a sweet, fresh, and juicy one. After choosing it, it is time to cut it. In many homes, everyone has their own way of peeling a pineapple, but the important thing is to remove the skin well and leave the flesh clean so you can extract its juice. And here is the reason why this fruit plays such an important role in the recipe. Pineapple contains a mixture of enzymes known as bromelain. As explained in the original content, bromelain is valued for its anti-inflammatory properties and its connection to respiratory issues associated with allergies and asthma. Furthermore, pineapple juice is described as a mucolytic support, meaning it can help break down mucus and make it easier for the body to expel it from the sinuses, airways, and lungs. That is why this fruit is not here just for its flavor. Pineapple provides sweetness, freshness, and a tropical feel, but it also serves a purpose within the preparation. How many times have we looked at a common fruit without imagining it could play such a useful role in a simple, natural, homemade recipe that is very easy to prepare every morning? After having the clean pineapple comes a simple but very important part: extracting all its juice. The original recipe uses a glass of fresh pineapple juice, which is why it is best to make the most of the fruit. When the pineapple is ripe, cutting it immediately releases that sweet, vibrant aroma that fills the kitchen. The flesh looks bright and moist, seemingly asking that not a single drop be wasted. To extract the juice, you can use a blender or a juicer. The original content mentions a simple blender, bought for very little money, but capable of extracting a surprising amount of juice from a single pineapple. That is a beautiful part of this recipe. It does not require expensive appliances or hard-to-find ingredients. You just need to work calmly and squeeze the fruit well. Once blended, there can still be a lot of liquid trapped in the pulp. That is why it is recommended to press or strain it patiently. Sometimes we think we are done, but squeezing a little more reveals more juice, and it would be a shame to throw it away. From that pineapple, you finally get the glass of fresh juice that will serve as the main base of the drink. In addition to its flavor, pineapple provides valuable nutrients. It is rich in antioxidants and vitamin C, elements that help strengthen the immune system and protect cells from damage. It also contains manganese, an important mineral for bone health and for keeping the metabolism active. You might remember that tingling sensation on your tongue when eating fresh pineapple. It happens to many people, especially at first. However, that same intensity is part of its character. In this drink, the pineapple not only softens the strong flavor of the ginger, but it also turns the mixture into something fresh, pleasant, and easy to drink in the morning. And that simplicity always makes the recipe much more appealing. Now we move on to the second essential ingredient of this preparation, ginger. Before using it, it is a good idea to wash it very well with water because dirt tends to get trapped in its small crevices. In the original recipe, the ginger is split and cut into small pieces before putting it in the blender. This step seems simple, but it helps it blend better and makes its juice come out more easily. Ginger has a strong, warm, and slightly spicy flavor. That is precisely why it plays such an important role in this drink. As explained in the original content, it can act as a natural decongestant and antihistamine. It is also credited with antiviral and antibacterial properties that help relieve chest congestion by drying up mucus and stimulating its elimination. When the body feels heavy, when breathing feels restricted and phlegm seems stuck, ginger provides that warming sensation that awakens the entire respiratory system. To blend it, you can add a little filtered water. This makes the mixture more fluid and easier to separate later. Then it is carefully strained to separate the ginger juice from the pulp. Nothing goes to waste. The pulp can be dried and saved for cooking, while the fresh juice is added directly to the drink. Next comes the honey. It is not just there to sweeten. The original text mentions that honey has antimicrobial properties, acts as a natural cough suppressant, and helps hydrate the airways. It can also soothe irritation and make the mixture much more pleasant to drink. The final touch is cayenne pepper. Its active compound, capsaicin, is linked to stimulating healthy secretions and protecting mucous membranes. In small amounts, it adds strength, heat, and depth. Therefore, when combined with the sweetness of the honey, the freshness of the pineapple, and the intensity of the ginger, the drink is perfectly balanced. Isn't it curious how such common ingredients can come together in such a powerful blend? Ginger, honey, and cayenne do not replace medical care, but within this recipe, they serve a clear purpose, supporting the body when it needs to breathe better and expel what is built up. Now that we have the fresh pineapple juice, the ginger juice, the honey, and the cayenne pepper, it is time to bring it all together. This is the part where the recipe starts to come to life. First, the glass of pineapple juice is poured as the main base. Then the freshly strained ginger juice is added, with that intense aroma that you notice even before tasting it. Next, the honey is incorporated, falling slowly and softening the whole mixture. Finally, a small amount of cayenne pepper is added, just enough to provide heat without making the drink too overpowering. Everything is mixed calmly until the ingredients are well integrated. The idea is to drink it in the morning, on an empty stomach, just as explained in the original content. That way, the drink is consumed when the body is clear of heavy meals and can better receive the preparation. There is no need to overcomplicate things. It is a simple, quick recipe designed to be repeated during those days when phlegm, congestion, or a runny nose make breathing more uncomfortable. When tasting it, the first thing you feel is the sweet and fresh flavor of the pineapple. Then comes the warm touch of the ginger, and at the end, there is a slight spicy sensation that awakens the throat. It is not a heavy drink. On the contrary, it is easy to drink, especially because the honey balances the intensity of the other ingredients. The original text mentions that this drink is usually taken when there is a flu or a runny nose, and that symptoms begin to decrease after about 3 days, almost disappearing after a week. That experience makes the recipe feel relatable, like something that can be prepared at home with familiar ingredients. And here is a question for whoever is watching. How many times have we looked for complicated solutions, when perhaps the first line of support was in simple ingredients we already had in the kitchen? Since there is still plenty of ginger left in the kitchen, you can also prepare a jar of honey macerated ginger. This part of the recipe is very simple and, at the same time, very useful to always have something prepared at home. You just need to cut the fresh ginger into small pieces or thin slices, place it in a clean jar, and cover it completely with honey. There is no need to add anything else. The honey gradually coats the ginger, and as the days go by, the flavors blend until they become smooth, intense, and very pleasant. According to the original content, this honey ginger can be kept for up to 6 months if stored in a cool, dark place or in the refrigerator. You can also start enjoying it after 3 to 5 days, when the ginger is more tender and the honey has absorbed some of its aroma. A spoonful of this mixture in a cup of hot tea can become a calming, comforting beverage that is perfect for the evening. But there is still something important left: the pineapple and ginger pulp that was filtered out earlier. Many people would throw it away without a second thought, but in this recipe, it is used to make a homemade jam. Add about 2/3 of a cup of sugar and let it sit for about 30 minutes so the sugar dissolves well. Then, transfer everything to a pot and simmer over low heat, stirring constantly until the mixture thickens and takes on a jam-like texture. Once it reaches that point, it is ready. It can be stored in a jar in the refrigerator and kept fresh for a month. This jam is great for spreading on toast, mixing with plain yogurt, or adding a spoonful to a cup of hot tea to make a pineapple and ginger drink. This way, nothing goes to waste. If you found this recipe useful, share it with someone who might need it. Take care of your health, listen to your body, and see you very soon.